Hey everyone, welcome to day 6 of the 12 Days of Christmas. This is Melissa Thomas from C2C Stamping, and I am super excited for you guys to open up your day 6 present. It is a small bag. I don't have the packaging right near me, but a small little bag with some polka dots on it. And we used to have those as treat bags, and they made the cutest little like carrot treat bags. All of our packaging is food safe. So if you're ever wondering about Stampin' Up's packaging, it's all food safe, so you can put things in there that aren't wrapped, which is really nice. So let's go ahead and open it, and what you're gonna find is a really nice Jelly Roll white pen. So we used to have a white pen. We don't anymore. We had a chalk marker. We don't anymore. And I found other chalk markers as well, but there's something about a white pen itself, and I'm going to kind of show you. I've got a couple of pieces of paper here. So a white pen on black is wonderful, right? You can draw, you can color, you could highlight things. You could, if you're looking at like, you've got a flower here, right? You could bring some highlights into the middle. You can write or draw on the inside of a card. So if you don't have a white insert on a dark card, you could write and it actually shows up, which is really nice. Give it a second to dry for sure. You can also use it on colors like crumb cake, and it's a little more subtle, but it gives kind of like an antique feel. So if you're trying to, highlight some leaves, or, you want to build a border around something, you could do that. But I really love a good white pen, and I think that a white gel pen is pretty much an essential staple in your craft room. So if you don't have one, congratulations, you do now. And so my daughter came home. She and an art friend had been drawing and doodling and stuff, and she was talking about, she's like, Mom, this is the best white pen ever. So we looked it up and we found them, and so she got one in her stocking as well. And one of the other items you'll get is also inspired by her this year. So I really appreciate having a kid in the house who enjoys arts and crafts as much as I do. So hopefully you enjoy your white pen, and we're gonna make a card. So here we go. All right, set that aside and let's grab some pieces. So this is the card we're gonna make. You are gonna have this piece that's cut out in from crumb cake paper, and it's using the dies that are called Greetings of the Season dies. There's a lot of really nice shapes, and they all have holes pre-punched in them. Unfortunately, I didn't cut one for myself, so I'm going to do that. Hold on. One of the reasons I like this die set, it's Greetings of the Seasons, is because it has the stitching on it, and it has the pre-punched hole at the top. So it punches the hole for you, which is really great. Let's say that you didn't want to use that hole though. You could actually cover it with something. You could cover it with a small punch out. You could cover it with ribbon. You don't have to thumb the ribbon through it, but I do think it looks really nice. And we're just going to use a standard card base from your set, and we are going to stamp this. All right, so we're going to stamp the big guy in some crumb cake. And I'm going to use my big block for this. All right, good. Got some good ink on there. And I'm going to stamp it so that the branch, the bottom, goes off just a little bit. There, that looks nice. All right, so then we're going to add some highlights with, since I'm a lefty, I'll go over here. We're going to add some highlights with our white pen. So if you're having a hard time seeing it here, you can kind of pull your stamp set near you and you can kind of reference the stamp set. Sometimes it's hard for me to see, especially some of these smaller ones, and if I didn't get good ink there. So I ended up highlighting pretty much every single piece on this stamped image, which was not my intention in the beginning. But as I started to kind of mess around, I was like, oh, I like that. And then I just kept doing more and more and more. So with the flowers, you're just going to want to kind of follow the lines that are there. I didn't touch the centers on my original. I will for this one, and I'll kind of show you. So you can add some dots on the middle, and that'll kind of highlight all of those pieces. The great thing about this is that if you mess up, whatever, it doesn't matter. No one knows what the original was supposed to look like. No one knows that you were even adding, you know, that here. There is kind of a center of a flower here. It's hard to see on the stamped image, but if you look on the piece on the box, you'll see it. And this is sort of like when we're coloring, right? We just kind of follow what the line art tells us to do, and that helps us to, you know, kind of color within the lines, right? Stampin' Up's, you know, designed a nice stamp set, and we just want to kind of follow the artwork that's there. So, all right, so we're going to pop this up with some dimensionals on our card base. But before we do that, let's go ahead and put some ribbon through here. So I just kind of doubled it over and prayed that I could get it through the hole. My sweet daughter wanted to do nails, so we did nails the other day, and that's lovely, but it's a little bit harder to craft. All right, so I'm making a double loop, and I'm coming from the back to the front. That's gonna put this kind of looped piece in the front. So you'll see this kind of not looking piece in the front. If you wanted it to go the other way, where you see the two down pieces, then you would do it the other way. But I think it looks a little cleaner to come from the back and do it that way. And then once we have it on our card, then that's when you can kind of say, oh, okay, this is how I want to cut it. You know, this is how it angles. This is how it fits. So I would wait to trim this until you put it on your card base. But I think it makes a lovely card. And if you wanted to add a sentiment, or you have a small sentiment that you want to stamp there, I think that's great. This set has no sentiments. It's really meant to be so that it can fulfill what your needs are, you know, for crafting thank you cards, birthday cards, sympathy cards. This would be a lovely sympathy card. You know, muted tones are always nice for that. So, but it could also be a lovely wedding card. And a congratulations card. So, all right, thanks so much. I really appreciate you guys, and I will see you back here for day 7. All right, bye y'all.